Hello, this is Caesar. Today I wanted to emphasize a distinction between expectation and intention. Most sales trainings, and this is not necessarily about sales as a commercial transaction, but even when you go about human interactions per se, things like when you talk to your kids, for instance, or to your spouse, or to your boss asking for a raise, even when you want to call a customer service representatives to deal with the situation that you have with that particular company, for instance. And most sales trainings, they advise you to build that expectation that the outcome would be the way you want it. And they advise you to hold on to that expectation. And that expectation, the way I see it, raises in me at least, check with yourself, but in me raises that sentiment of entitlement, of some sort of inertia. Okay, I'm expecting this to happen, then you should do it, and I would be disappointed if you didn't. Like when you tell to your kid, I expected better of you, or when you say to your friend, well, I didn't expect this from you, or something like that. So that expectation, the implication, the semantics of the expectation, of the word expectation, for me at least, imply that I am somehow becoming attached to that particular outcome. And that attachment raises neediness, disappointment if something goes a little bit astray, you see? So my flexibility to adjust, to adapt, if something doesn't go exactly to the outcome that I expected to happen. So when the line is not straight, I get disappointed, my flexibility falls down, I become frustrated, so the entire interaction doesn't look nice anymore. In exchange to that, I propose to take a look at the concept of intention. So when I enter a sales interaction, for instance, I have an intention to offer a proposal to the person I'm talking to. But that's not primary. It's secondary. I know what I'm there, so I'm not just aimlessly going through life. I know why I'm there. This is my intention, but it's not anymore in front of my eyes. You know that saying, keep your eyes on the prize? It's not anymore in front of my eyes. I put it on the back of the mind. And in the front of my eyes, if I really need to have something in front of my eyes as a main focus, if you wish, it is the intention to connect with that person that I'm talking with. So my focus, it is on connecting. And even this, when I say focus, it is on connecting. I'm going to write another blog about this. Connecting is not necessarily something that you do. I'm going to talk about this probably in a couple of days. But that intention for me to propose a sales transaction to that person is only on the back of the mind. And when I put that sales transaction proposal on the back of the mind, now I can make the interaction about them. It's not anymore about me. So if it is not about me, then I cannot, there is no place from which neediness to show up. There is no place from which frustration might show up if the conversation might go somewhere else than what I would expect to go to. So in this respect, when I take that prize that other people advise me to keep in front of my eyes, when I take it and put it on the back of the mind, allowing it only to unconsciously guide the boat of my conversation, for instance, with them, that's when I can make that conversation about the person that I'm talking with. And I found this to be much more empowering. So I'm making this distinction, and I'm just inviting you to see how it works for you. Because for most people that I talked with, expectation implied that kind of neediness, that kind of disappointment if something didn't go exactly the way they expected, they envisioned, stuff like that. Their flexibility goes down, the probability for them to get frustrated goes up, and so forth. And I found that when I replace that expectation with an intention, so I know what I want, of course I know what I want, but it's not anymore in front of my eyes. it is on the back of the mind, allowing me to carry on that conversation free from any possible disappointment if that, purpose doesn't show up and so forth. So I am able to focus on them, on the person that I'm talking with, making the conversation about them, and increasing the chances for that connection to show up. So this is what I was trying to suggest to you today. Just try it out, see how it looks, see how it feels for you, to really have an expectation, and notice if frustration and disappointment comes up, and notice what happens when you allow that the purpose of the conversation, that offer for an exchange, or the purpose that you have when you call that customer service rep, to put it only on the back of the mind and just focus on them as a person, trying to facilitate for the connection between two of you to show up. I'm looking forward to see what your experience with that is. Let me know, and if you have other ideas, other perspectives over what I said, I'd love to hear about them.